Hello students and welcome to your English language class. Today in this class we'll be taking up the second half of the story, The Necklace, written by Guy de Maupassant. Okay, so we have read till here. The day of the ball approached and Madame Loisel seemed sad. Okay, ball here means formal dance and dine party. Okay, and Madame Loisel was very sad and disturbed and she was very anxious. Nevertheless, her dress was nearly ready. Her husband said to her one evening, "What is the matter with you? You have acted strangely for 2 or 3 days." So, although her husband has given her 400 francs for her dress and her dress was almost ready, she was not looking very happy or jovial about the upcoming ball where she was invited. And she responded, "I'm vexed not to have a jewel." So she was kind of distressed and annoyed that she doesn't have a proper jewel or proper set of jewelry which will go along with the dress that she is about to wear for the ball. Nothing to adorn myself with. So she was quite disturbed and worried that she doesn't have a proper set of jewelry to go along with the dress she was about to wear. "I shall have such a poverty stricken look. I would prefer not to go to this party." So she was worried that she'll be looking very poor in front of all the rich and influential people. He replied, "You can wear some natural flowers. In this season, they look very chic. Chic means trendy." So her husband tried to convince her that she can wear some natural flowers because obviously they'll be um, not very expensive and at the same time she'll look very trendy with them. She was not convinced. "No," she replied, "there is nothing more humiliating than to have a shabby air in the midst of rich women." So she denied the proposal and she said, "No, that'll be very humiliating and she'll feel very out of the place. Okay, if she'll be doing all that thing, if she'll be wearing natural flowers, so she'll be feeling out of the place." Then her husband cried out, "How stupid we are! Go and find your friend, Madame Forestier, and ask her to lend you her jewels." Now, her husband gets the idea that her his wife can go and borrow some jewels from her friend. Okay. She uttered a cry of joy. "It is true," she said. "I had not thought of that." The next day she took herself to her friend's house and related her story of distress. Now she did exactly the same thing. She went and told her friend all her agony and her story of distress. Madame Forestier went to her closet, took out a large jewel case, brought it, opened it, and said, "Choose, my dear." So her friend was quite a generous lady. So she just brought all her jewels and offered her that you can choose from it. She saw at first some bracelets, then a collar of pearls, then a Venetian cross of gold, and jewels of admirable workmanship. So she has got all beautifully crafted pieces of jewels, and she's got various types of bracelets and necklaces and all that. She tried the jewels before the glass or the mirror, hesitated, but could neither decide to take them nor leave them. So she was quite confused which one to take and which one to leave behind. Then she asked, "Have you nothing more?" "Why, yes, look for yourself. I do not know what will please you." Now she has shown all her jewel pieces, but she said, "Okay, fine. You can just choose from all the jewel pieces that I have." Suddenly, she discovered in a black satin box a superb necklace of diamonds. Now, she was astonished at the look of the necklace of diamonds that her friend has got. Her hands trembled as she took it out. She placed it about her throat against her dress and was ecstatic. Now, she was quite delighted at the sight of it because it was matching with the dress and it was looking outstanding. Then she asked in a hesitating voice, full of anxiety, "Could you lend me this? Only this?" So she hesitantly asked her friend that whether she could lend this necklace of diamonds to her. "Why, yes, certainly." She fell upon the neck of her friend, embraced her with passion, then went away with her treasure. So finally, she got what she wanted. Um, the day of the ball arrived. Madame Loisel was a great success. She was looking very charming and she was looking very pretty in the dress and obviously the necklace that she has borrowed from her friend. She was the prettiest of all, elegant, gracious, smiling, and full of joy. All the men noticed her, asked her name, and wanted to be presented. So that's what she wanted. She wanted to seek attention, she wanted to get noticed, and that is what she was getting at the ball. She danced with enthusiasm, intoxicated with pleasure, thinking of nothing but all this admiration, this victory so complete and sweet to her heart. So finally, she succeeded in getting all the attention, and she was very enthusiastic and she was very delighted that she was getting all this admiration and attention of everybody. So she was kind of feeling victorious. She went home towards 4 o'clock in the morning. Her husband had been half asleep in one of the little salons since midnight. Okay. With three other gentlemen whose wives were enjoying themselves very much. Now, they partied till 4 o'clock in the morning, and her husband was getting some rest in the lounge. Okay, while all the women folk were having fun. He threw around her shoulders the modest wraps they had carried, whose poverty clashed with the elegance of the ball costume. Now, when they headed their home from the party, her husband wrapped her in a maybe a shabby piece of some kind of a shawl or something. So she was not feeling very comfortable wearing that because it was not going accordance with the elegance of the ball costume. She wished to hurry away in order not to be noticed by the other women who were wrapping themselves in rich furs. Now, all the other women were quite rich and influential, so they were all dressed up in rich furs. Okay. Loisel detained her. "Wait," said he. "I'm going to call a cab." Now, her husband proposed that they should call a cab and they should go in a cab. But she would not listen and descended the steps rapidly. She just wanted to vanish from there, so she just hurried from there. When they were in the street, they found no carriage and they began to seek for one, hailing the coachman whom they saw at a distance. Now, they were not able to find any carriage there, and there was no cab, nothing at the street. So now they were forced to walk. They walked along toward the river, hopeless and shivering. It was cold, so both of them were shivering. Finally, they found one of those old carriages that one sees in Paris after nightfall. So finally, they got a carriage, a horse-driven carriage, maybe. So they took that. It took them as far as their door, and they went wearily up to their apartment. They were very tired because they were dancing and dining and they were having fun, so they were all exhausted. It was all over for her, and on his part, he remembered that he would have to be at the office by 10 o'clock. Now, her husband had an appointment in the morning, so uh, he would have to leave for the office by 10 o'clock, and she has got nothing more to do, so she could just relax. She removed the wraps from her shoulders before the glass for a final view of herself in her glory. Suddenly she uttered a cry. Her necklace was not around her neck. So finally, when they reached home and she was just changing her clothes, so she noticed that her necklace was missing. Okay, students, so we'll continue reading the story in our next class. Thank you for watching this video.